What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of the Storm the Court podcast. I'm your host, Zane Ellis. Just wrapped up a thrilling contest between the New Orleans Pelicans and the San Antonio Spurs, so let's get right into it. I don't want to overreact, but is it time to start treating Devin Vassell as a legitimate scoring threat in this league? I mean, the dude dropped 22 points and showcased some serious range tonight. The game ended with the Spurs taking it 119-115. But wow, was it competitive? Both teams were battling hard. The Spurs have been finding their footing after an uneven stretch, and the Pelicans, they had their usual fire, led by CJ McCollum's 26 points, but just couldn't seal the deal. It was the kind of game where you could feel the intensity rise with every shot. That game was a roller coaster of emotions, from anticipation as the first quarter unfolded, to frustration when the Spurs fell behind, and finally elation as they edged it out in the last minutes. The last couple of minutes, I was on the edge of my seat. Classic NBA drama. Looking at individual performances, let's talk about Harrison Barnes. The veteran logged 27 minutes and put up 19 points, hitting 2/3 of his shots. He was efficient, and his experience showed down the stretch. And then there's Stephon Castle, a young gun who had a mixed bag tonight with 17 points, but struggled with efficiency. Still, he's ahead of the curve for a player in his position. Meanwhile, Vassell was just feeling it. You could tell he wants to be the next franchise cornerstone. On the Pelican side, CJ McCollum was his usual self, hunting down shots and making plays. But you know what? The ball movement felt off. It was almost like they were hesitant at times. You have guys like Trey Murphy making 20 points, but where were the assists? Sometimes it felt like they were just standing around watching each other. Here's my hot take. The Spurs might just be onto something. Their young core is developing nicely, and if they keep up this level of competition, they could become a surprise playoff contender down the line. They've kept their picks, invested in talent, and now it's all coming together. But the Pelicans, they need to figure things out soon or risk squandering an opportunity with their current roster. Despite McCollum's performance, it felt like a lot of isolation plays that led nowhere. I mean, come on, group up and run some plays. This game wasn't their best showing, and it leaves open questions about their cohesiveness moving forward. I might be caught in the moment, but this reminds me of that 2007 Spurs team that gradually brought in young talent to support their veterans. If they can foster that chemistry and keep building on these wins, the Spurs could rise from the lottery depths. As we move forward in this season, expect these games to mean something more, especially with playoff spots on the line. Keep an eye on how these teams progress. It's shaping up to be quite a ride. And that's a wrap. Thanks for tuning in to the Storm the Court podcast. Don't forget to subscribe, and we'll catch you after the next game. Let's see if Vassell can keep this momentum going.